The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in the capital city of Iowa, Des Moines, as we welcome you to Wells Fargo. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here. It's a Class 4A quarterfinal. The third-seeded Bishop Heelan Crusaders taking on the sixth-seeded Lewis Central Titans. Dar, we're in for a good one. It's been a fun day of 4A action so far. The winner of this game will play Waverly Shell Rock, who survived an upset bid against Sioux Center. Top of the bracket, Clear Creek Amana, and that would be North Polk. I mean, sets up pretty good. These two teams very familiar with each other.
Yeah, we got 2,000-point scores in Brooklyn Stanley for Sioux City Heelan and Lucy Scott for Lewis Central. Yeah. So we know they can score. The question is, defensively, how are they going to do? And both coaches in their notes kind of mentioned that. They want to play good defense along with executing the offense. Let's take a look at our road to state graphic here for both teams and how everybody got here. Well, Lewis Central, their 19-4 record, won Region 8, defeating Norwalk, allowing 34 points per game. That's third in 4A, 12, almost 13 steals. Brooke Larson, 15.2 points per game. Lucy Scott, 14.7. For Bishop Heelan, the Region 3 champion, defeating Winterset, 64.7 points per game. That's the best scoring clip in 4A, 17.5 assists. So they both assist a lot. And for Melina Snoozy, 18 points a game. Brooklyn Stanley, 14 points a game. So, you know, we got a couple scores. Each team has plenty of scores. I think it's going to come down to defensively here. Stanley was the big star last year for Bishop Heelan, and then all of a sudden they bring in Snoozy as a freshman. She has burst on the scene. We're excited to see what she can do tonight as well. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into our game Seeds for Success presented by Channel Seeds. And then we'll get your lineups and everything else coming up in just a little bit. Bishop Heelan taking on Lewis Central, your final Class 4A quarterfinal. Coming up on the Girls State Basketball, at the Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
This is our son, Sebastian. In 2021, he took half a pill he didn't know was counterfeit.
That tiny pill contained enough fentanyl to kill him almost instantly. Kids buy them on social media and share them with their friends, not realizing how dangerous they are.
Please talk to your kids about not taking anything that's not directly prescribed to them.
Our child will never get to grow up, but we want yours to be able to.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Our final Class 4A quarterfinal of the day about to get going here at the top of the hour. Bishop Heelan, the 3 seed, taking on 6-seeded Lewis Central. Let's take a look, Dar, at your channel seeds keys for success today.
Well, for Lewis Central, it's defend. They have the third in 4A in their defensive average, so they need to keep that up here. Then execute in their half-court offense. They want to get the transition too, but if they don't, then they want to get into that offense and execute it there for Lewis Central. For Bishop Heelan, dictate the pace. Part of that is also pressure on the ball when they're bringing it up. Don't let them bring it up too quick. Burn a little bit of that shot clock as they go, and then be efficient offensively. And, you know, you can, a lot of teams, the coaches would probably say that, but, you know, take good shots, open shots. You don't have to jack up the 3 if it's not there, and if you want to take a little more time on the clock, do that. So those are your channel seeds for success.
And today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Channel Seeds. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Well, these two teams met earlier this season, November 28th, just after Thanksgiving. So honestly, Dar, they were the first game of the season almost for both these two teams, and it was a win for Bishop Heelan. 47-33 was your final score. Another thing I want to take a look at quickly, we talk about height is a big deal here at the state tournament. There's a lot of small ball here today. Not really much height in both these lineups.
Yeah, just one starter at 6 feet for Bishop Heelan, and, you know, people always say height does help you in rebounding, but it's more positioning and reaction and knowing where the ball is going to go, too. And, you know, that's part of it. If you know where the ball is going to come off the basket and that. So, yeah, it's a good matchup both ways when you look at size-wise.
Bishop Heelan only lost this season coming to Lamar's kind of in the middle of the year. Lewis Central losses to Bishop Heelan, like I said, St. Albert, Council Bluffs, and then a couple teams from Nebraska thrown in there as well. So that's another thing you always think of. The Western Iowa teams, they play a lot of out-of-state opponents, more than the Eastern side does, and sometimes that kind of can skew records as we head near.
Yeah, and Lewis Central, only one loss, and that came in overtime after the holiday break. So, you know, you talk about they played early in the season, and then a lot of things changed. You know, you got Snoozy, the freshman, who's playing, you know, and obviously those players, they mature as they get more varsity experience moving along. You have a little bit more of a experience on the Lewis Central team there with, 4 seniors in the starting lineup. So, but yeah, each team and the coaches, they adjust. So it's going to be interesting what adjustments they make and if they could take anything from that first game where they met way back when at the start of the season.
We'll take one more quick break and be back for your starting lineups and opening tip-off. Heelan versus Lewis Central coming up on the Iowa Girls Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
First, for Lewis Central, number 3, Macy Vetter. Number 4, Mackenzie Stevens. Number 5, Kendall Mings. Number 12, Anna Strohmeyer. Number 13, Lauren Bink. Number 31, Mallory Wohlers. Number 33, Jordan Matillo. Number 35, Sydney Teen. And number 42, Mackenzie Vetter. The assistant coaches, Dan Miller, Tom Hutchinson, and Coleman Mulnix. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for Bishop Heelan. Number 3, Addison Kleiss. Number 5, Carly Kobe. Number 13, Ashley Yoakum. Number 15, Aubrey Billings. Number 21, Colby Carroll. Number 25, Reese Bleeker. Number 31, Ellie Delaney. Number 33, Julie Verzel. Number 35, Caitlin Porath. Number 43, Maddie Schimmerhorn. The assistant coaches, Rick Witzel, Jessica Carson, Olivia Salentic, and Sean Miller. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams in alternating fashion. For Lewis Central, at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 14, Lucy Scott. For the Crusaders, at guard, a 5'2" senior, number 1, Maddie Demke. For Lewis Central, at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 15, Addison Holt. And for the Crusaders, at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 11, Brooklyn Stanley. For Lewis Central, at forward, a 5'8" senior, number 20, Avery Hannafin. And for Bishop Heelan, at guard, a 5'11" freshman, number 23, Melina Snoozy. For Lewis Central, at forward, a 5'11" junior, number 21, Brooke Larson. And for Bishop Heelan, at forward, a 5'9" junior, number 41, Maddie LaFleur. For Lewis Central, at forward, a 5'11" senior, number 25, Madison Jones. And for the Crusaders, at center, a 6' junior, number 45, Abby Lee. Head coach for Lewis Central is Chris Hannafin, and head coach for Bishop Heelan is Darren Kulstra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for this afternoon's game. Brandon Smith, Adam Walderbach, Andrew Kane, and the bench official this afternoon, Jim Prouty. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state tournament basketball.
Alrighty, we are ready to go. Starting lineups have been set. Before we begin today's game, I'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, the proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. Always do a great job supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here. We got a good one here. Last for a quarterfinal spot up for grabs for the semifinals.
Yep, and Lewis Central's been, 2020 they were runner-up, and this is their first time back since then. Bishop Heelan, they've been a perennial down here, 5 of the last 6 years, so should be a good one.
So here we go. Lewis Central in dark blue with the Carolina blue striping, and Bishop Heelan in white with a kind of gray and dark blue striping on the side.
Good tight defense to start it here, man-to-man.
Titans averaging 51 points per contest. That one swatted back down low by number 45, Abby Lee.
We talked about she's the only 6-footer on the floor.
Maybe she could make the difference. Brooklyn Stanley with it here. Goes back to the top of the key. Melina Snoozy with it there. Boy, what a bright spot she's been coming into Heelan this year, just a freshman. Heelan's had a lot of stars come through the program in the last couple seasons under Coach Kustra. There's a foul on the floor, and it will send number 21, Brooke Larson, to the line to shoot 2 for Lewis Central.
Maddie LaFleur with the foul.
Larson, a 69% free throw shooter this season for the Titans. And the first one drops in.
I've talked with it in other games. With the change in the foul situation, I've only seen them go to the bonus usually when the game's tight at the end and teams had the foul so far.
Well, we feel like the trend has been the games have been quicker if it makes sense. Like, games have just been shorter, about an hour and a half. The previous game, no overtime, no continuous clock. We finished about 30 minutes ahead of schedule, so just kind of one of those things. Brooke Larson knocks down both free throws.
Yeah, then we've had a few lopsided ones, a few more than what we've had in the past where, you know, the clock has run continuously.
That ball's almost stolen away down low. A couple hit the floor. Brooklyn Stanley's down there, and eventually it's given back away. And Heelan's got it. A little bit of an arid pass, and it's taken right back away.
Stanley hustled to get that ball back, but then a bad pass turns it right back over.
Drive to the basket. Nothing going there. Heelan gets the rebound. The Crusaders look to push. Pull-up jumper. That one goes. Melina Snoozy, her first bucket of her state tournament career.
About a minute and a half in. Both these teams trying to get the offense figured out against this defense.
A turnaround jumper. Nice one. Drops in. Brooke Larson.
Well, it looked like she would just stop, nowhere to go, and then I'll shoot it, and just straight up and popped it in.
Snoozy thought about shooting. She's lengthy. I mean, she's got to be close to 6 foot. Looks like almost a double here. Lewis Central doing their homework on the freshman. Snoozy averaging 18 points per contest, which leads the way for Bishop Heelan. Maddie Demke for 3 at the top of the key, and it goes.
Deep in the shot clock, but they were patient and kept working until they got that wide open shot at the top of the key.
It's her 23rd three-pointer made of the season. She's a 31% shooter from beyond the three-point line. Boy, tough pass down low. Layup won't go, but Larson's on down low to clean it up.
Now we can already see Brooke Larson. She does not stop moving.
6 points already for Larson, the junior. Demke at the top of the key. Someone left Stanley wide open. It won't go, and Brooke Larson's on the board.
Good rotation, good shot, just didn't go, but Heelan really worked the ball well there.
Larson gonna work her way down and gets the layup to go off glass. Boy, Brooke Larson.
And they're going to have to find a way to stop her penetration.
Has taken over here early. She has all 8 points for Lewis Central.
And she is just cutting through that defense, either passing it off. She passed off once and then got the rebound put back, so.
Boy, tight pass down low, a lot of contact. That one won't drop for Abby Lee, and then a foul is called down low, or excuse me, out of bounds down low. Lewis Central get it right back. So 2 turnovers committed by Heelan. Take a look at the replay on the Brooke Larson shot, just working her way to the basket. Larson's 5'11", Madison Jones 5'11", so they do have some height thrown in there.
Sydney Teen in for Lewis Central. And Strohmeyer also in, I think, for Lewis Central.
All substitutions brought to you by our friends over at IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Titans by 3 and out of bounds on the far line.
Stepped on the baseline right in front of the Heelan bench.
That's Anna Strohmeyer. Strohmeyer, a senior, 5 points per contest coming off the bench.
And Heelan trying to solve the zone here.
Snoozy goes far side over to the corner. They'll go right back down low to the low post, and a nice turnaround shot for Abby Lee.
Yeah, that was good patience, and it was a good pass. I always think those passes to the post are easy, but they're not.
A three-pointer from the top of the key, a little too strong. Who else but Brooke Larson on the glass. Tries to get her own rebound, and she gets fouled as she went up for it. That was Addison Holt who tried the 3. Take a look at the effort down low by Larson.
Yeah, she crashes the glass, whether she's shooting it or going for the rebound.
Larson already with 4 rebounds and 8 points. And she knocks in another. We've had a couple players come close to triple doubles today. We had Locklear of Clear Creek Amana, 1 assist away, and then in the last game, Sioux Center had a girl 2 assists away from a triple-double, so these girls are working hard.
Juliana Verzal in for Heelan.
Larson.
That's all right. She's a player coach says can play all positions. Verzal coming in, kind of their utility player off the bench.
Every team needs a couple of those.
Yeah.
3.5 to go here in the first. Lewis Central looking good here, the 6th seed over the 3 seed currently. And that one's stolen away. Second turnover of the ball game for Heelan.
Yeah, just a step around by the defender, and that pass was not. Get it up high. She's taller. Get it up high around her chest or higher.
Boy, Heelan really crashed down there for a second. Larson's doubled, instead dribbles out of it. Ooh, missed pass. Tried to get it right back down low.
But look what they did. They doubled, and she didn't penetrate that time. That's what they got to do. When she's been penetrating, she's getting on the board or getting put back.
She tried to fit it to Strohmeyer and just a little out of whack. And Heelan comes back down the floor trailing by 3.
Well, it's Brooke Larson 10 and Heelan 7 right now.
Stanley, 3 from the corner. Another tough shot. Can't quite get it to fall. 0 for 2 from three-point line today for Stanley. Good pass down low, and a travel is called on Sydney Teen. Got ahead of it.
Still just a little, like we said, they played, it was a long time ago. Still just a little trying to figure things out defensively a little bit here.
Titans lead the rebounding category early, 6-2. In favor of Lewis Central, 2:26 to go here in the first. Boy, Snoozy from way outside, off back iron, gets her on rebound. They'll swing it back outside. Abby Lee for 3, in and out. And a rebound by Lewis Central. Sydney Teen went up and got it. Larson got around Stanley, a wide open Titan on the wing, that won't go.
But there they stopped Larson's penetration.
Coast to coast for Melina Snoozy, and she's got it to go. No first tournament game jitters for her, that's for sure.
And there's the steal.
Arid pass, coming back the other way. Stanley right back, and the layup is good. Melina Snoozy, the freshman and the senior working together on the fast break, and just like that, Heelan's on a 4-0 run.
Well, on our seeds to success, we're control the pace, and right now Heelan is. They're getting it out quick on offense, and then on defense they're playing fast too.
And a timeout is called by Chris Hannafin, and it'll be a full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Welcome back. Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu.
Well, Brooke Larson on the bench. Let's see if they can find somebody else who can score here.
Over 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis Central loses it. And back come Heelan. Stanley tried to go down low and fit it back over to Snoozy in the corner. Here come the Titans back the other way. 5 turnovers for Lewis Central, just 2 for Bishop Heelan. Baseline drive and a foul. Looks like Avery Hennepin will go to the line to shoot 2 here for Lewis Central.
And she would be the first Titan to score other than Brooke Larson here to start this game.
Larson's 4 for 4 for free throws so far. And now the team is 5 for 5 as Hannafin knocks down her first.
And her first tie of the game.
Averaging just 1 point per contest this season as a starter. They'll knock them both down, though, from the charity stripe. And gives Lewis Central back the lead. A back and forth first quarter. You said it best. I think they're just kind of feeling each other out right now. These are two very good coaches.
Heelan picked it up the pace there for a little bit, got a fast break, and then got defense and stole it. Now let's see how Lewis Central reacts.
Snoozy left wide, open for three. You just can't do it. A long three-pointer by the freshman gives Heelan back the lead. And boy, that wasn't near the line. She was a little bit out. Larson, just a rebounding machine and a putback machine. She's got 12.
Yeah, and they give her just a short 30-second to minute rest over there, and she comes right back in and attacks a basket again.
Shot clock is dead. 14-14 here in the first quarter. Demke down low to Lee. Lee gets blocked, and they're going to say a foul is called on Addison Holt.
Looked like the ball from here. I don't know.
The whole crowd thought the ball was caught, but
she was far enough out, it didn't seem the body, but those guys are a lot closer than we are.
Abby Lee will go to the line to shoot two here for Bishop Heelan. Abby, a 68% free throw shooter. And the first one rattles in. Yeah, a lot of scorers here. Melina Snoozy has 9 for Bishop Heelan, and Brooke Larson's got 12 as both drop. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter, and we have got a good one. Bishop Heelan on top of Lewis Central, 16-14 in your Class 4A quarterfinal. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Bishop Heelan on top of Lewis Central, 16-14 is your score. Blake Walker-Dar Danielson with you here. Looking through a couple stats here. Rebounds, Lewis Central 9, Heelan 4, 5 turnovers for Lewis Central, 3 for Heelan, but it's really individual players we're talking about. Brooke Larson with 12, and Bishop Heelan's freshman, Melina Snoozy, with 9.
Yeah, and that first game was relatively low scoring, 47-33. They're on a little faster pace in this one so far with the 14-16 start.
Boy, Stanley, hot potato over there on the far sideline. It will be going right to Bishop Heelan here.
Yeah, Addison Holt almost poked it away and got the steal.
So Stanley will throw in. Stanley's one of those players that you just feel like's been there forever. Not a bad thing. It's just man, it's good that we still have her here. Snoozy, just a quick fire three, and it goes. I think this freshman's pretty good.
Yeah, thinking about players who might feel are here forever.
She might be here forever.
Imagine over the next few years we might be saying that. Man, I remember when she was a freshman, and she's been here for a long time.
She's got 12. Loose ball, Stanley tries to go after it, but instead it's a foul called on Lewis Central, number 25. That is Madison Jones.
And that 5 points is the biggest Heelan lead, I think, in the game so far. You see the good rotation over.
she's got range. I mean, they're not close threes, if you will. I talked about it yesterday in my game, but ever since we changed the floor, we got rid of the NBA line and the other three-point line. I think that's kind of helped some teams.
I do too, because I do think a lot of times players came down and they saw that and they jacked one up.
Or they set up their offensive sets way too far back.
Way too deep, yeah. Because you'd see that quite often, and especially teams that have been here and haven't been here a while.
Stanley tries to throw a touchdown pass over to Abby Lee, and instead it's a little too far gone. And it will be Lewis Central basketball. Another turnover for Heelan. And Heelan's shooting it well, 50% from the floor. 9 out of their 14 shots have been from beyond the three-point line.
And 33% from there.
Good ball movement down on the low post. A quick double team, and they'll go right back outside. Three-pointer from the top. That's off. Rebound taken right back away. Nicely done by Sydney Teen.
You talk about power in that end. She just powered that right up, and it almost looked like it was going to spin out, but it went down.
The lead is 3 for Heelan. A little bit of a zone here, a lighter zone, but it works. Larson's on the steal. Brooke Larson one-on-one against Demke. She'll pull up and put it in. 14.
Yeah, Demke giving up 9 inches in that matchup. It's tough to stop.
Boy, Brooke Larson, she only averages almost 16 per contest. She's already got 14. Lucy Scott going to run the floor here for Lewis Central. The lead is 1. Boy, both teams just so aggressive on defense. Right back outside, Addison Holtz misses everything on the 3, and it's another offensive rebound for the Titans. Larson tries a mid-range 2 and drops it in. She's got 16.
Yeah, Heelan did well when they double-teamed her and stopped her, but now she's back to, getting open and attacking whatever she wants, and that might be what they're going to talk about in the timeout here.
Yeah, Koolstra says we need to think about something. 6 offensive rebounds so far for Lewis Central. We'll take a break. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the capital city of Des Moines here at Wells Fargo Arena. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here. A 6-0 run for Lewis Central has given them back the lead, and it's all because of Brooke Larson.
Yeah, Brooke Larson has 16 of their 20 points. You got to stop her penetration, but you also have to identify her when you're shooting, because she crashes the glass and she's getting rebounds. She's listed at 5'11", but she's playing like 6'2", 6'3" right now, and just cleaning up the boards as well.
Maddie LaFleur will throw in here for the Crusaders, and they'll set things back up here on offense. Under 5.5 to go here in the first half. Good one so far. Between the 3 and the 6 seed, the winner will take on Waverly Shell Rock in your Class 4A semifinals. Demke, long 3, just short on it. Abby Lee grabs an offensive rebound and then throws it right back away.
Now Demke was cutting, and she threw it behind her a little bit.
Lucy Scott stopped and fires a 3 of her own. That won't fall.
Brooklyn Stanley gets the rebound there.
Both teams seem like they generally want to play fast. Snoozy, she's got 12, goes down on the low post to Lee. Lee gets the layup to go, or the jumper to go, I should say. Got bumped, no foul, and Heelan's got back the lead.
Yeah, we've had back and forth lead changes here so far in this first half.
And just 1 foul called so far this quarter, and just as I
there
say
you go,
that,
you jinxed it.
I was just about to say, I'm like, not much going on, but a push foul is called here.
I think that's on Demke. Yeah.
So Lee will check out, and number 21 will check in here. That's Colby Carroll. for Bishop Heelan. Down on the low block. That's Caitlin Porath. Or excuse me, that number 35, Sydney Teen.
Teen has been impressive with the way she attacks the basket. Missed the shot, but got it and went right back at it.
Working hard down low, that's for sure. It's helping them out. Snoozy goes full court pass. They've done a couple of those. Stanley just fires a mid-range jumper. She had the space, but couldn't quite get it to fall. And the Titans have it with the lead by 1. Snoozy intercepts the pass, gets around 1, and Melina Snoozy will take it all the way and lay it up and in. She's got 14.
That's just good anticipation, reacting on defense.
Her and Larson are having a scoring battle so far. Larson just can't quite find the bottom of the basket. Almost got her own rebound, but it falls right into the lap of Addison Holt. And a three-pointer won't drop for Lucy Scott, but another offensive rebound for the Titans.
They just, Lewis Central's not found that range outside quite yet. They've had some good open looks, but haven't been able to put them down.
They have as many offensive rebounds as they do defensive rebounds. Far wing, and three-pointer is called off as there is
3 seconds,
whistle.
I think,
3
on
second,
Larson.
yeah. 3 second call down low. It's ironic because I just read an article this morning. The NBA is wanting to get rid of the 3 second call to make defenses better because apparently the offenses are too good.
What defense in the NBA? What are you talking about?
They're trying to help them a little bit.
Oh, they are?
See some great defenses here at the state tournament. Abby Lee, turnaround. Man, she's got that shot figured out.
Jeez.
That's a tough shot. I mean, that's a lost art of this game, it feels like, that's going away.
We don't see many mid-range anymore, do we? Everyone wants to shoot the three or they attack the basket.
In some ways, I'd say a mid-range jumper is more impressive than a three-point jumper. A block over there on Sydney Teen. Nice job by the Crusaders. Here they come racing back, leading by 3.
Yeah, that was great anticipation on that block by Abby Lee. Got her going up.
2.5 to go here in the first half. Stanley goes right back over. Little empty possession here. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Loose ball picked right back up. Lee back to Stanley. Stanley's wide open for 3 and a little too strong. And the rebound can't be grabbed. It goes wide, and Lewis Central will take it back.
I was just about to say they weren't panicking as the clock went down until maybe that shot.
Yeah.
I think she had a little more time than what she thought, but she tried to get it up in a hurry, and the defender was coming out on her. But, I mean, it got down to 7, and they still were passing it, looking for the open player.
You'd think it'd be tied for how these two teams have played. But the Crusaders lead it by 3.
And I think the biggest lead has been 5 for both of them here.
Travel is whistled on number 14, Lucy Scott. Averaging 14 points per contest.
We haven't had many of those self-inflicted turnovers where you walk with it or, that. It's just been good defense mostly.
Under 2 to go here in the first. Quick pass down low. Colby Carroll in the game. Demke, long 3 at the top of the key. Boy, what a big shot. Extends the lead to 6.
She hangs out up there, and you can't leave her alone because if you give her an open shot, she's shown she can cash it in.
Tough three-pointer in a response. That won't go. Demke's on the rebound. A little too strong for Lucy Scott. Boy, big possession here defensively if you're a Titan fan. Demke, floating shot off glass, won't fall. Nice rebound right into the lap of Madison Jones. And Larson gets it poked away.
Demke.
Madison Demke all the way, and the layup is good. Maddie gets the job done, and it's looking good for Heelan here. 30-22 on a quick 30-second timeout, and now Heelan's starting to force the turnovers.
Yeah, they got a little scoring run here, and is that right? Lewis Central's not hit a 3 yet?
So far, no. They are 0 for 7.
And they've had some good looks at it. They just haven't been able to drop those in yet. Sometimes you see that, in the first quarter here on a new court where the open ends, but at State. But They need to do that. They seem like they've been forcing them to get the ball out of Larson's hands a little more around to the other players. So
Titans haven't scored a basket since 4 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the quarter, so going to have to figure something out here. They have 10 turnovers. Again, the rebounding category is just astounding. 18 rebounds for Lewis Central, 9 of which are on the offensive end, 9 of which are on the defensive end.
Yeah, it was a 1-point 23-22, and then they just quick 7 points, and they're out, to the 30-22 lead.
And Brooke Larson's going to need some help. Sydney Teen has got 4.
Yeah, well, and they've got to get some of those outside shooters are hitting. Addison Holtz had some good looks out there, but, just haven't fallen yet.
Well, and I say that, but 30 points for Heelan, 30 of which only 3 players have scored. Abby Lee on the fast break. She gets it to go off glass. The lead is 10 for Bishop Heelan. What a run here at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, and it's something you hate to see coming out of timeout. They had something worked up, but it didn't go.
Boy, Heelan almost trying to double here. Give Lewis Central a disadvantage. Stanley, another steal by Bishop Heelan. Brooklyn's going to go all the way. A little high off glass.
Well, I think she was losing it and tried to flip it up there.
Everybody's hitting the floor. Demke says, let's calm down. Let's run a play here. 13 seconds on the clock. The shot clock is dead. Stanley back out to Demke. Over in the corner. Three-pointer by Cobe. That won't fall. And Lewis Central grabs the rebound. Probably a much-needed break as Bishop Heelan goes on a big run and ends with their largest lead of the game so far. 32-22 is your score in this Class 4A quarterfinal. We're 1/2 away from setting our 4A semifinal field. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Slade's the place for you!
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. 32-22. Bishop Heelan on top of Lewis Central. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here. Dar, good run by Bishop Heelan to end that half.
Yeah, it did, and we mentioned Brooke Larson has been doing well, but as we talked about, somebody else needs to help with the scoring a little bit, and we mentioned in our seeds, control the tempo, and Heelan has done that now. They got offensively, they're getting down the floor quick, and then they just the guards up top are just collapsing and double team whoever has the ball, not letting them get in their half-court game.
Yeah, it's kind of been one of those games. If I'm reading correctly, Lewis Central only has 1 assist the entire game, so something you kind of want to figure out For Bishop Heelan, only 3 players have scored for both teams, I should say. 32 points for Heelan, only 3 players have scored. Melina Snoozy has 14, Abby Lee has 10, and Maddie Dempke has 8. And for Lewis Central, Brooke Larson has 16, and Avery Honnefin has 2. Sydney Teen has 4 as well. So you're going to have to tighten up a couple things. Even on the rebound again, it wasn't great for Heelan, but you'll take a lead by 10.
Yeah, and they're shooting 50% from the floor, and a lot of that is being inside and Larson following up. And, yeah, so anytime you're shooting that well, you'll take it.
Absolutely. And now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, the IGHSAU had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Matt Hominoff with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We want to thank all of our partners for all the great support we get from around the state. None more important than our proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me today is the president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, Brent Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Yep.
Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau feel so strongly about supporting the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and our tournament games?
Well, Matt, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Girls Union now for 19 years. And once again, very proud to be a part of this year's state girls basketball tournament. And, this tournament highlights the work ethic, teamwork, resilience, and dedication that these girls have contributed for a year's worth of dedication to their craft. And just like that same spirit, the Iowa farmers are the best in what they do across this entire country, not only in production, but also in conservation. And you put all that together, and there's a lot here to celebrate.
Yeah. Your support for the IGHSAU goes beyond youth and education. What other support does the Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Yeah. Well, Matt, here at Farm Bureau, we believe that today's youth is tomorrow's leaders, and we're proud to support them in many different ways. One of those is by our scholarship program. Every single year, we give nearly $500,000 across the entire state to those kids so that they can continue their education at a higher level. We've also partnered with the Girls Union and the Boys Association now for several years to offer concussion insurance for those student athletes who compete in sanctioned sports across the entire state so that they can do so at a high level and feel safe doing so. And that is at no cost to that student or their families. Third, we've given teachers across the state nearly $500,000 so that they can properly equip their classrooms to do their jobs better. And most recently, just last year, the Iowa Farm Bureau gave the Iowa FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can properly place ag teachers and ensure that students across the state have an exposure to agriculture and how it affects their lives every day.
Yeah, so the students participating in this year's tournament are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs. But one new item that they're taking home are the championship ball caps. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. The girls who are competing at this year's tournament are actually taking home quite a bit of swag this year. Of course, we have the bag tags and the signature basketballs that the girls have been used to seeing over the years. But this year, we've added a championship ball cap so that those girls who actually win the tournament have an extra souvenir to remember that if they put their minds to it, they can accomplish anything.
Well, thanks again, Brent, for both your and everyone at Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the Iowa girl over the years.
In Iowa, we grow corn. A lot of corn. Corn is what supports us. It feeds our livestock, it fuels our vehicles, and powers our state. It nourishes our families. A cash crop? Yeah, but it's way more than that. Corn sustains us. It's who we are. Without it, we'd just be... well, you get the picture. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
The thing I love about Clark is that you're never just one thing. I'm not just a student. I'm a future doctor. I'm an athlete on a history-making team. I'm a community member supporting the causes I care about. I'm a friend, a neighbor, a leader. At Clark, you can become anything. What will you be? Be you at CU.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Fans Official State Tournament merchandise is now available. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here this evening, our Class 4A quarterfinal. Dar, run us through a couple of stats here, because if I just looked at that, you didn't put the score on, I'd say, well, this could be a 2-point game.
Fairly close, but I think the biggest one there is you look at rebounds, 19, 10 defensive rebounds for Lewis Central, but for Bishop Heelan, only 9 rebounds, but the shooting percentage, too, is up there, and 0 for 7 from 3. Lewis Central is about a 30% three-point shooting team, but 0 for 7. They just haven't found the range there. And that's, you know how that goes. If you knock one of those down, you get the confidence and you might do it. You know, steals, everything looks pretty well. You mentioned the assist earlier. Double the turnovers for Lewis Central, 12-6. That's a big one, too. And but, you know, you look at it and then 12 second chance points for Lewis Central, and you got to think, hey, you know, they're right in this, but that run by Heelan, they're right before the half, just kind of stretched it out a bit.
Absolutely. Melina Snoozy has been well worth advertised, if you will. I mean, she has been phenomenal. She's got 14 points. Abby Lee has been really good, especially in the mid-range part of the floor. 10 points for her. Maddie Dempke with 8 points. Brooklyn Stanley, 0 of 5 here to start. I think for some that's kind of a surprise, because she's been that star for this team when they've made it here to the state tournament.
Yeah, and she's averaging 14 points per game, right behind Snoozy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, which a little surprising, but if you see Lewis Central, they don't have anybody in where am I looking at here? Well, they have Brooke Larson, but they don't have anybody else helping. I mean, the 2 other players scored, so you gotta add a little bit more to that. Not like that Brooklyn can't, but when we've seen them double team her and slow her down a little bit, then that's helped with the Heelan run as well.
Those have been your suck-up stats of the game. We'll take a break, get you back for the start of the second half. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. Nice and average temperature indoors. I haven't been outside since 8 a.m. this morning, so I don't know what the cold front's like coming through.
When I came in this afternoon, I went into work this morning, and then it was very nice. I came out at noon, it was very nice, but when I came here, it was gusting. The temperature dropped way down. It was coming through the parking lot, reminded me more of a leaving in the evening going home after that 75 yesterday. So, and then there's always a little cold here as we're sitting on top of the ice.
Yeah.
But let's see if Lewis Central can make a run to start the second half.
They had a couple spurts there in the first. Brooke Larson looked really good in the first. We'll see if she can get going here in the second half, and the team as a whole. Titans trying to swing it around here. A baseline drive by Avery Honnefin. And she loses it, picked up by the Crusaders. They'll come back the other way.
She dribbled that right off of Demke's foot and then couldn't come up with it.
And I talked about Stanley not scoring yet today, but you take a look at Demke, who's only about a 2-3 point average shooter. The fact that, or only 6 points, she's got 8. So, I mean, she's picking up her end.
Yeah, hit a couple threes there, I think, didn't she? And so.
And the bench is not great in terms of points per game scores. You don't have anyone on the bench for Bishop Heelan that scores more than 2 points a game. So they look at a lot of production from their starters.
But this is a time when it matters, whoever you can get to score here.
Another turnover by Lewis Central. Snoozy and Dempke back and forth and get the layup to go. They're really good at transition offense.
Yeah, and they really good connection there. She saw that the defender closed on her and passed it right back.
Dempke's got 10. A trap in the corner. Not a lot of places to go for Lucy Scott. She does give it up to Larson. Larson all the way, gets swatted back by Abby Lee. Well, we talked about in the very beginning that there's not a lot of height on this team, but there is a little bit of height. You take a look at the replay of the back and forth between Dempke and Snoozy.
Yeah, just enough. She drove right into the height there. Oh, nice look. Oh.
Might have been another block. She might have gotten a piece of it. Lee came from behind and knocked it out of the hand of Madison Jones. Dempke will back up and reset here on offense. Heelan leading by 12. The winner will take on Waverly Shellrock in the Class 4A semifinal. Waverly's trailed by 9 at one point against Sioux Center, and then Caitlin Egena put the team on her back, hit a couple threes, got them back within, and were able to hold off Sioux Center. Stanley for 3, no. Still has not found the bottom of the bucket today. And then a foul on Brooklyn as she tries to guard the defender coming across the timeline.
And that was forced a little bit with the shot clock going down on that last shot, so.
Lewis Central, a lot of seniors in their starting 5. 4 out of the 5 are seniors. Just 2 seniors in the starting 5 for Bishop Heelan.
And Anna Strohmeyer, another senior coming in for Lewis Central here.
All substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Holtz hands off to Teen. Teen can't quite get that one to go. She's had a couple good looks in the first.
Yeah.
That one can't quite drop. Dempke tries to lead Stanley. Brooklyn somehow balances. Abby Lee, quick fire 3, yes! Boy, how about that back and forth? Boy, Dempke almost had another steal. Lewis Central looking for anything here. Teen gets blocked away. Lee is on the rebound, and a foul on Brooke Larson. It is all going right for the Crusaders.
And stature-wise, Dempke, only 5'2", as we'll see there, the pass, the assist. And, sometimes you overlook that. You see, wow, she's not as tall as everybody. But, man, she's playing, and if you put your head down, she's going to steal the ball from you. She's a great passer.
Lee, turnaround. Just can't quite get it to fall. But, man, she likes that area of the floor. Larson working her way through traffic. Mid-range jumper. That just can't quite find it. Lewis Central's gone cold as a team.
Yeah, looking for their first bucket here in the third.
Stanley all the way through traffic. That won't drop. Good rebound by Heelan. Snoozy almost had the putback. That couldn't quite go. That was LaFleur. Good effort by her for Heelan on the rebound.
Lewis Central needs a bucket in a bad way here. Just to get things going in the second half.
They have not scored in 8 in-game minutes. That one won't go for Larson, and a foul is on the floor. Yeah, their last bucket, 4:23 of the second quarter. They are 8 of 28 from the floor, still 0 of 7. Meanwhile, Heelan having a great shooting night, 15 of 32. I mean, that's the best you can ask for.
Yeah, they were at 50% at the half, but it's only dropped just a little bit to 47%.
Boy, they are so quick with their hands. 14 turnovers for Lewis Central. And definitely seems like Heelan's picked something up on the rebound again. Teen gets it poked away. Stanley going to run the floor. And she's finally got her first basket of the night. Lewis Central will take a timeout. It's a quick 30-second timeout. And it's anything. I mean, you can't tell your players to put the ball in the basket. Sometimes it's just not your night. Take a look at the replay here.
Quick breakaway. And yeah, I mean, some of that is defense, too. They're always there rushing at you. And And then it's tough too because you want Larson to kind of attack, but they've been able to shut her off and pick her up on the attack. Abby Lee's done a good job of blocking her a couple times, where in the first half she was driving the lane at will and putting it up or getting a rebound. So they found a way to shut her down, and again, we got to get somebody else to get in the scoring column a little bit here.
And Bishop Heelan still getting out rebounded by 10. 24-14 is that category. Lewis Central's been to the line 6 times, all of which were in the first quarter. And Heelan's only been to the line twice. So it's not like things are being decided at the charity stripe, but 15 turnovers for Lewis Central, probably the glaring stat besides the shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Teen down low. Finally breaks the drought for Lewis Central. Is that the bucket they need to get back going? We've seen comebacks here.
Yep.
Personally, I think comebacks are the easiest at the state tournament just because of the environment. Stanley can't quite get it to fall.
Yeah, and there's always that pressure. Whoop.
Molina hits the floor, and Koolstra screaming for a timeout. And he finally gets it. I think the official was either telling him, hey, you didn't quite have possession.
Yeah.
It's a 30-second timeout, and I think that's exactly what Coach Hennefin's talking about, is he's like, did she truly have possession? But no matter what, the 30-second timeout is called, so we'll stay here. Bishop Heelan on top, 39-24.
I remember in the old days when you couldn't go down and even come up with that ball, they changed the rule. Otherwise, it'd be traveling. But now, you know, you can call that timeout when you have a hand on it and you have kind of control. We've seen more of that now.
The Titans only down to 2 timeouts left. Bishop Heelan still has 3 left. Our graphics not quite up to date there.
But back to that comeback, I think you're right, too, because this is a game to end your season or keep your season going. So when the other team starts coming back, things don't seem quite as easy. But Lewis Central, they need to get something going here pretty soon. Still a little time left here in the third, but you'd like to maybe cut into the double-digit lead.
They're going to have to get a run going. Brooke Larson, who really hasn't done much since her 16 points. Snoozy for 3, it rattles in.
And if nothing else, cut that, you know, everything's falling for the other team. Cut that down a little bit if you get a comeback.
The freshman's got 17. Larson on the rebound. Can't quite get it to drop. Those were dropping in the first. She's got 11 rebounds. Snoozy, pull-up jumper. Not going to go, but she is fouled, though. I think they're going to get it on team. Yes, they will. So that will send Melina Snoozy to the line to shoot 2.
Just 2 team fouls on each team here with 2:49 to go.
You know, sometimes you worry, you bring a player to the state tournament who's never been here before, you think, well, how's the environment going to affect her? Snoozy's done a great job today.
And, you know, we've always said, well, she's not a freshman anymore. We played a whole season, you know, and which is kind of true. She's played that way. She's proven herself as a freshman, and so gets 1 of 2 free throws there.
But if Heelan's able to come away with a win today, that's a check off the box. You know, like, all right, I've come here, I've won, and you know what to do, as that one's knocked out of bounds. And again, a turnover will go back to Heelan.
And I understand Coach said she's already got several D1 offers. Yeah. Snoozy has. So.
For good reason. Stanley. Over to Lee. Lee fires the mid-range jumper. Won't go. But she's not afraid to shoot him. She's got 13 today. 4 rebounds and 2 assists to add to that total as well. Larson got swatted away by Snoozy, but Molina got a little bit of contact on the arm, and it will send Brooke Larson to the line where she is 4 of 4 today.
Just Snoozy's first, team's 3rd foul.
So it'll be 2:16 to go here in the 3rd, and Brooke Larson is at the charity stripe. And the first one goes.
So far, just a 3-point quarter here for Lewis Central.
Had an only 8-point quarter in the second. Larson knocks them both down. And Heelan will bring it back up. The lead is 17 for the Crusaders. Stanley caught up, gets around one. She'll float this one off the side iron, gets her own rebound though. A couple of bodies hit the floor, and we're going to have a jump ball is called. It will go to Bishop Heelan.
Credit Abby Lee. She kind of kept that rebound going here. And then she goes down on the floor and gets the tie up. And that's the way it goes, too. You're trying to come back, and you get a held ball, but it's the other team. You know, It just seems like that.
And with only 2 timeouts left, you doubt Lewis Central really wants to use any. They don't have to, just in case. Snoozy, great passing down low. LaFleur gets it to go off the glass. Boy, that was really good.
Just a passing clinic. And then look at the attack up front on
just
defense.
More handsy defense. That's working really well for Bishop Heelan. Great save by Snoozy. Stanley for 3 at the wing. Yes.
Yeah, the confidence is there on every shot now for Heelan.
Larson up and under and gets fouled. Had a good luck there for their second. A 29-12 run for Bishop Heelan ever since the end of the first quarter when they led 16-14. And Stanley, I'm sure that made her happy knocking it down. Larson will go to the line to shoot 2. And the first one's off. 18 points today for her, 11 rebounds. She'll get one more chance from the charity stripe here. Misses them both after being perfect so far today, so Heelan will take advantage and run it back.
Yeah, and 16 of those 18 came in the first half, and just nobody for Lewis Central getting any scoring going.
Snoozy, quick fire, won't go. Stanley on the rebound, that won't fall. Snoozy on another rebound. Now Heelan's starting to really do a good job on the glass, and Abby Lee gets the layup to go.
Yeah, everybody's attacking the glass, and when you got that lead, you can attack the glass. You don't worry about the run out because you can afford that a little bit.
Boy, Larson got it poked away on the way up. Recovered pretty well. And what's the whistle?
It was a kick.
Oh, kickball.
Yeah.
Take a look at the replay. Just really good passing and awareness by Bishop Heelan, both on transitions and on offensive rebounds.
Yeah. Again, controlling the tempo like they wanted to do.
Crusaders with 7 boards on the offensive side today. Half a minute to go here in the third quarter. Not a lot working here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hannafan, nothing there. They'll swing it around. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Foul and 1.
Oh, man.
Lucy Scott somehow, some way scooped that thing in the air and got it to go.
She knows she had to push it to get it to the rim, and look at this. Just a little drive and push, and she's thinking, finally.
Addison Kleiss was called on the foul. Larson got the rebound and gets the lucky roll. Titans bring it back within 20 here. Heelan trying to end out the quarter on a high note. Dembke outside, Snoozy for 3, or excuse me, not Snoozy. That was number 3, Kleiss for 3. Couldn't quite get it to fall, and we will head to the fourth quarter. 50-30, Bishop Heelan on top. We'll be back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. The Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. Thanks to Iowa Bankers Association for sponsoring at the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. 50-30, Bishop Heelan leads over Lewis Central. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson with you here. Titans on a little bit of a run there. Got a couple things rolling there on the end of the third, but they're going to have a lot of work to do if they want to come back into this one.
Yeah, they got just a few points at the end of the quarter, but it was only an 8-point quarter overall for them.
Lewis Central, the highest scoring team in 4A. Demke got tripped, no call.
I think it was just in the normal transition. That's
Maybe
why
got
they
a couple.
Yeah.
Crusaders averaging 64 points a game, which in my opinion feels low in a way, but it shows how competitive Class 4A is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a strong field.
You know, when they went to the 5A, then it kind of collapsed. There's a lot of really good 4A teams, and it is a real tough field.
Clear Creek Amanda, the 1 seed, took care of Gilbert earlier today. And then a crazy game. North Polk rallied late in the third to come back and beat Dallas Center Grimes, the defending state champions in 4A. Ooh, three-pointer drops in. Boy, that wasn't easy for number 12, Anna Strohmeyer.
That's the first one of the day for them, right?
Yeah, that finally breaks free. Lee, short on the jumper.
Let's see if that opens up a little scoring run here for Lewis Central.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good run here dating back to the end of the quarter. Larson on the rebound, and she's got the layup to go. A lead is cut down to 15.
It seemed like Heelan was standing around a little more on defense and reaching instead of, moving their feet.
It's a 9-0 run dating back to the end of the third quarter for Lewis Central. Abby Lee goes down low. Doesn't matter. 3 seconds in the lane on the floor. And it looks like Koolstra is going to try to stop this run dead in its tracks before he gets away. And Lewis Central starting to make a little noise here. And we'll see how long the timeout is here. We're going to take a full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. 50-35, Bishop Heelan on top. Lewis Central, though, 9-0 run here.
And they have the ball.
Have the ball.
The timeout. Yeah, it just...
You seen anything different? I mean...
I did think Heelan was standing around a little more in those last few possessions defensively, kind of reaching the hands in. And that's the trouble. You get a big lead, and sometimes, you're playing against yourself. Keep focused. The coach says, well, you're thinking, wow, we're up 20, coach. What the heck? Yeah. And then a quick, they popped a 3 for the first time, Lewis Central. So, you get another 3 here, and this starts to get quite interesting.
24-point lead. Bishop Heelan student section isn't even on their feet. So Lewis Central is going to try to give their team a little bit of a boost here. Brooke Larson's got 22 for the Titans. Stanley on the steal. Over to Lee, and Abby lays it up and in. That's a big bucket in response. And why not another
so the
steal?
timeout worked.
Yeah. I don't know if a steal was in the timeout talk, but
he probably said, come on, let's stop them and score.
I believe that's the 20th turnover for Lewis Central, either 19th or 20th, waiting for our stats to update. And Lee is able to save that one. Boy, she's working hard today.
She moved quick around and got in front of Larson there as they were trying to go to her on the post.
Snoozy almost drew a triple team. Brooklyn Stanley for 3 off front iron. Here comes Brooke Larson racing back the other way. Good ball movement. 3-pointer by Lucy Scott. Can't quite find the bottom of the barrel. And they try to save it. Larson got it bonked off her nose by Teen, and it will be Bishop Heelan basketball as time's starting to run out here for Lewis Central. If they want to come
that three
back.
was tough. They needed that. If that gets in, and then couldn't run it down in the corner.
Stanley didn't score in the first half, but she's picked it up here in the second. She's got 5. She'll try again for 7. She gets fouled.
Yeah, Teen a little too hard on the close.
Went right into the teeth of the defender, and Brooklyn Stanley will go to the line.
I like Teen. She's been a good, tough player off the bench for him. And
I think we're gonna.
We got
Stanley
bloody nose, maybe.
Might need a little bit more than what she's grabbed for her bloody nose, but
yeah, I think they got a Kleenex, and she's trying to get it. I think he's going to sub for her now.
Yep. So they'll sub her out, and in will come Avery Honifan.
And the trainer will look at her now. She's somebody you want out there. Your big scorer.
Stanley knocks down the first, 68% free throw shooter. These girls are tough, I'll tell you that. There was a girl during the Waverly Shell Rock game that dislocated her finger, went to the bench, told the coach, pull it, and he pulled it, put it back into place, taped it back up, and she went right back out. Unbelievable stuff. Both ones dropped, 54-35. Bishop Heelan trying to close this one out here and advance to the Class 4A semifinals to take on Waverly Shell Rock. Brooklyn Stanley, have yourself a second half. She's got 9. All in the second.
Well, they made that run, got it, a 9-0 run, had it down to 15, but now it's just right back up there again.
Hannafin took it down low, got kicked off a Crusader's leg.
Yeah, that might have been Abby Lee.
And pretty even scoring all throughout for Bishop Heelan. Abby Lee, 17 points. Snoozy with 18. There's Brooklyn Stanley's layup in transition. Maddie Demke with 10. And Stanley close to being in double figures here. So
I just think that early scoring drought, and they got just 1 3 for Lewis Central, even though they had some good looks and couldn't get any to knock down.
They try a tight window pass. Bishop Heelan has it again. 23rd turnover of the game. Lee for 3. Just can't quite find the bottom of the basket. She can shoot from anywhere. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
yeah, she does for her size, and she's.
Larson got bumped, wanted a foul, no call. Demke comes back the other way. Lee got caught up by Larson. Stanley for 3 at the wing. Why not? She has got 12, and 4 Crusaders have made it to double figures. And a foul is called on Maddie Demke.
And the lead back up to 24 now.
That's tied for the largest lead of the game so far. And Heelan's getting closing in on their quota for points per contest. Came in averaging 64.
Well, they responded. They got that timeout. How big was that? They responded after the timeout.
Oh, tough floating shot. Can't go for Macy Vetter. Stanley thought about another 3. Instead, she'll drive baseline, swing right back outside of the freshman Snoozy, and that can't quite get there. Offside iron. Larson all the way. Nice reverse layup.
That was pretty.
She's going to be really good next year. 24 points today. just a junior. She'll be back next year. She's the only one returning out of the starting 5, and I think if you could pick one that you'd want to return,
Yeah.
Brooke might be the one.
Well, after seeing her today, I'd say yeah.
Just a commanding type of player, you know. I always like to bring it up. You and I are big Hawkeye fans. Reminds me a lot of Kathleen Doyle or Samantha Logic. Lee, turnaround, jumper goes.
A little mid-range there for her.
And I don't think she's really had to use her height a ton. I think it's just kind of been she sets herself up well. Another steal, Stanley.
She did get it. See the finish there.
Hands off to Snoozy.
She did get a couple blocks on Larson, though, there that kind of set the tone a little bit.
Double team over in the corner. Baseline, up and under, and it goes, and one. Strohmeyer gets it done.
Looked like they had her trapped dead to rights in the corner, and she just dribbled the baseline in the reversal. Look at that.
Yeah, she has 3 coming in. She'll add on 2 more, make it 5. She'll go to the line to shoot 1. And Lewis Central starting to sub a couple out. Lucy Scott, the senior, she'll check out. Got a coach, or a hug from Coach Chris Hannafin. As a couple more will sub out here. Avery Hannafin will check out.
Well, Lewis Central was runner-up in 2020. They get back here for the first time since, and quite the result they wanted here, but
I think he's going to try to get all seniors in. Mackenzie Stevens sitting there waiting to come in, along with Jordan Mateo. Well, it was a heck of an effort by Lewis Central, but Bishop Heelan has just been a hounding team, hounding defense.
And they got the running game going a little
Yeah.
bit too, getting it out and stealing the ball and quickly getting it down the floor.
Lee back outside. Crusaders trying to add on to the point total here as Lee gets fouled. And I guess she was shooting, so.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Heelan start to
empty the bench.
Sub in some too, yeah.
So Lee will shoot 2 here. Well, like I said, great day for Abby. She's got 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Has a chance to add to that total here. Now Heelan's got 2 scores with 20 or more points. I don't think we've seen that yet from this tournament so far.
And like you said, we saw her, she's got range everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, inside, mid-range, she hit a 3. She's all over the floor, she can score it.
And the way the teams line up, Clear Creek Amana definitely has the most size out of anyone. I mean, that's literally the whole volleyball team over there for the Clippers. You got a North Polk team, a little bit smaller, but man, they can play well. Becca Agard, really good, 6'3". She's technically the tallest one here in this class. And then Waverly Shellrock, Caitlin Egina. They have some size down low. And I think Bishop Heelan just gives you a good mix of everything.
Yeah, good size and good speed and everything.
That's what's helped Coach Koolstra in his recent history with Bishop Heelan. A lot of success.
Fantastic freshman, too, playing Snoozy.
3-pointer from the corner. That can't quite go. On the rebound here.
Well, advanced to Thursday night, Heelan will.
Lauren Bank in the game as well for Lewis Central. (65-40). Bishop Heelan on top. 8 3-pointers today. Make it 9.
Right on cue.
Number 5, Carly Cobe, the senior, knocks down the 3. 9 3-pointers. 48% shooting.
You get a timeout to get some more players into the ball game here. Some more IMT insurance substitutions.
Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Oh, that was good teamwork there.
Yeah.
So.
26 turnovers for Lewis Central. That'll be one of the stats they'll just kind of look at and come back on. Obviously, just couldn't quite find the shots quite a bit today, but still a trip to the state tournament. Always got to enjoy that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the seniors, they'll have to kind of rebuild, but Brooke Larson's a good one to rebuild the lineup around.
Stolen away once again with 45 seconds to go, and a foul is called. The steal was taken by Addison Kleiss, or excuse me, number 31, that's Ellie Delaney.
Just 3 team fouls, so we're not close to the bonus at all here.
And once again, we're good on time. I think our next game starts at 6:45. That will be Dyke New Hartford taking on Cascade. Well, that Dyke New Hartford team down in 2A. Boy, they are looking for a three-peat, either a three-peat or four-peat. I can't quite remember, but boy, they are unbelievable. I'm pretty sure it's a four-peat.
They used to be, you know, they've been volleyball, you know, domination forever, and then they took the height into the basketball court, and they've really done well there too.
Floating layup goes in for Reese Bleeker, the sophomore. She's got herself some points here at the state tournament. 70-40. Titans caught up in the corner. 3 seconds on the clock, and it doesn't look like they're going to get a shot off. Bishop Heelan is on to the Class 4A semifinals. They defeat Lewis Central 70-40. And the Crusaders will take on the Go-Hawks of Waverly Shell Rock Thursday night at 6:45, and a chance for the Class 4A title game. What a fun game. Really well done by Bishop Heelan.
Yeah, they just took control of it there, and Lewis Central could match him for overall balance and scoring, and then the defense just clamped down on Lewis Central too and just shut them down in the second and third quarter.
We will send it down to the floor for our PA announcer and your trophy presentation.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Chris Hannafin and the Titans from Lewis Central on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Maddie Schimmerhorn will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Crusader fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play Waverly Shell Rock on Thursday at 6:45. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support.
Bishop Heelan, the Crusaders, are on to the Class 4A semifinals, where they will take on Waverly Shell Rock as they get the win today over Lewis Central 70-40. For Gavin on our production team, he's Dar Danielson. I'm Blake Walker. Dyke New Hartford versus Cascade coming up in about 20 minutes or so. We thank everyone for watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.